Pawn family, welcome back to another Facebook Live here from the Midwest Convention. And with me, I have a great guest, Brian Garrett. Thank you so much for being on from Tom's Pawn. I follow you on Instagram. I follow tons of people on Instagram and Facebook, and you guys are doing some incredible stuff at Tom's Pawn. I feel that just the feeling of watching what you're doing, I feel like you have an incredible culture, and people are happy working there. So tell us a little bit about how long you've been in the business. And what Tom's Pawn's all about. How do you create that incredible? Let's get the a little bit.
All right.
There you go.
All right. So hey, thanks for having me. I know we've been trying to do this for I don't know maybe a few years now.
Yeah,
or a year,
I've been trying to get you on.
I keep avoiding you, and so yeah, thanks for asking me.
Oh, my pleasure.
So I've been doing this. It's 2000.
Okay.
So May of 2000 is when I began, and so how did I create the culture? Is that kind of?
So how did you start in the pawn industry first?
My parents started the business in
gotcha.
1972.
Huh?
I went to college. When I went off to college, I had no desire to come back and do the pawn industry. None. I wanted to be in a suit and carry a briefcase and work in a high-rise in some big city. So I graduated college, and I needed a job. So my dad he had 3 stores at the time, and he was like, "Hey, son, I got this store. I need someone to run it." So threw me in there, and with no training. He's like, "Here you go."
Here you go.
So I remember that first year, 2 years of learning so much and making so many mistakes and just figuring it out, right? Because my dad was running another store.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So I was running this store by myself.
Yourself.
Yeah, and he was running another store, and then we had someone else running a third store. So I figured a lot of things out just trial and error, right? Sink or swim, right? So I ran that store for I think 3 or 4 years, and then my dad was ready to retire. He's like, "So come to my store and take my store over so I can retire." So I moved to his store and ran. He actually didn't really retire. I think that was just a ploy to get me to come to his store. So we ran that store together for about 5 years, and then he finally did retire. So yeah, that's kind of how I got in it, and that
amazing,
and kind of the history there.
So 2011 is when you kind of took over, I guess?
Yeah, about 2011, and probably 2000. I think it was maybe 9 or 10. We opened up our 4th location.
Okay.
So so we have 4 locations, and also when my dad. So what was a pivotal point in our business was kind of creating some structure within our 4 stores, where I ran a store. And I know what that looks like. And then we hired store managers, and then I was like an area manager, and then we hired an area manager to take my place. And so kind of having some structure and some
hierarchy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Great.
And with that really allows me to do what I love, which is loving and pouring and educating my team.
Yeah. And you can tell that just from social media. I see posts, you guys go to dinner once a quarter, once a month. You guys are reading stuff together. Yep. Just when people are on social media, on your channels, the smile looks genuine.
Yeah. So
let's talk about that. What did you think? Because a lot of old-time pawnbrokers don't really care about the culture.
Yeah.
And so what made you think, like, I got to take care of my people so that they can take care of our customers?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's just me. It's just what I love.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we close down 4 times a year. We close early, and we all go to dinner as a team. Mm-hmm. We do book clubs once a month. We do a lot of meetings. We do breakfasts. We do lunches. So it's a lot of team building and pouring in your teams because, man, when those are the guys that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
And when you are able to just pour into your leaders in your company, it's 2-part. One, you get to see them transform and grow as leaders in their store and watch them just excel. But 2, they get to take that home.
Yeah.
So not only are you helping them at work grow as a leader and as a person, they're able to take those same principles home and grow in relationships and grow with their spouses and with their families. So I just love watching people excel.
This is why I've been wanting to get you on for like 2 years now, because we really think the same. Right. I think that when you pour into your staff, mm-hmm. you have a responsibility as a business owner to pour love into your staff, mm-hmm. so they can go home and pour love into their family. Yep. And wake up happy.
Yes.
And be better leaders at home as well.
Yep.
So you guys do trainings, breakfast. What else happens, at Tom's Pawn that allows for that congruency and that integrity that you come in with?
A Lots of communication.
Okay. Let's talk
So
about that.
I feel like the book clubs, and so we also do monthly meetings with our management team.
Okay.
And our management team, we have a manager, we have an assistant manager, and we have a third key. So we actually do the second week of every month. We meet, me and my area manager, we meet with our store managers, and we go over financials, and we're talking, and we're communicating, and we're talking about employees and customers and all that. And then we do the same meeting with our assistants the next day, same meeting, and then we do it with our third key, same meeting. So there's lots of communication that we have with our team.
Yeah.
And the book clubs is probably what I love about the book clubs is that that's where I can really share with the team our passion and who we are as a company and what we stand for and who we want to be in the community.
So I want to go back really quickly. I love the fact that you talked about communication because it's just transparency all throughout. Everybody knows what's happening. Everybody knows what they need to do. And I'm going to guess everybody knows what the plan is to get there.
Yeah.
And a lot of times pawn shops, a lot of the owners don't share the information with the staff. A lot of times it's just, the manager or even the area manager, but you're sharing it with like 3 levels down so they can be inspired and motivated to go out there and say, okay, this is where we're at. This is where we need to be. And we actually have a plan of attack. Is that right?
I'm a very open book with my management team.
Awesome.
And that's complete opposite of how I grew up. So when I was running a store, my mom did the books.
Okay.
So I didn't, I'd make deposits and go, here you go, Mom, coming next week. I need money. Like, I just sold gold. What? I don't get it. So when my mom stepped out and retired, I took over the books and I learned QuickBooks. And then I got like, wow, there's a whole nother side of this company because I just ran the front side. So I understood loans and sales and deposits and I got all that. But I didn't understand the backside of bills and taxes and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So I got to see the other side of the company. So I'm super transparent with my management team. So my managers, my assistants, my third keys, I'm a totally open book. They know everything about us.
Awesome.
They know, I show them the profit and losses, the balance sheets, our debt, checkbook balances, savings account, everything. So that's
incredible.
And the thought process behind that is if my team, the people that are running the stores, if they don't know the whole picture of what's going on, then because we're all a team, and they need to know everything. And when I share it with them, I always, it's just like home. If I manage a checkbook and my wife just does the spending and does her stuff, and I don't share where we are financially, how are we ever going to get better?
Yeah.
Right. So it's same philosophy, same at work. Being transparent and open because there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
And
there shouldn't be.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's here we are. This is where we want to go. Let's work on this. And I had a new third key come on board. This is a few months ago, and I actually asked her. I was like, "Show, have you ever worked at a company that is this transparent and shares you total everything?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, how does that make you feel?" She's like, "It makes me feel really good." She's like, now when I'm out front working and running a store, she's like, I have a sense of purpose because I know why I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And I know why I'm asking my teams to do this.
Yeah. That's awesome. Love that. So book clubs, transparency. There's also something else I see. Obviously, I follow you as a person. You're a big family man. You love your family. Mm-hmm. It's always like a selfie with the family.
Yeah.
You guys also do something, if I'm not mistaken, you put like a box outside. Tell us a little bit about that.
All right.
Outside the stores?
Yes.
Okay,
I'm super big with family, and I'm so big with that. Spending time with our families and your kids and investing in those people and those loved ones.
Because that's why we're here, right? We're here to make. I believe that we want to make money. We're capitalists. We got to make money, but at the same time, we've got to spend time with our family and leave a legacy, not just of cash, but of time spent together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if we don't spend time with them, then they grow up and they say, well, yeah, my daddy left me some cash.
Yeah.
Big deal, but I didn't spend any time with him.
Right. And my dad, he's over there.
Okay.
I got to, my dad worked 24/7. Yeah. So I know what it's like to grow up with a dad working all the time. Yeah. So, and now that he's older and retired, I get to spend time with him. He's here, right? Yeah. So now I'm getting to spend time with him, but I don't want my kids to grow up without, with dad always working.
Yeah. I was the same way. My father worked 7 days a week, I think 6 days a week, 14 hours a day, because my mom would have killed him if he worked the seventh day. Yeah. My grandfather worked 7 days a week, 14 hours a day. So I get it.
And I appreciate it because we wouldn't be where we are now if it wasn't for the hard work put ahead of us, right?
100%.
So the blessing boxes, we have blessing boxes outside of each location. And one of our store managers came to us. Well, actually, it was one of our meetings, our manager meetings. And she's like, hey, I saw this thing on Facebook. It's called a blessing box. And she told us about it. And when she was telling me about it, I was like, that is who we are. Because I love the pawn business because you're helping people out.
Yeah.
Like that is my biggest passion of customers are coming to you in need. And when you're able to fulfill that need and help a customer out, that is my that's why we do what we do.
Yeah.
So when she brought the blessing box idea, I was like, that's so awesome. That fits who we are in the community. Who we want to be is people that can come to us in a time of need, whether it's financial or just having a canned food in the blessing box, right?
Yeah.
So we put the blessing box outside of each location, and people will donate to it. And there's a sign on it that says, "You're next." Yeah, you are. Thanks, Greg.
We got people walking by
yeah.
live. Just so that you know, we got people walking by live, and whoever's in the seats saying, "You're next."
Yeah. Yeah. So where are we at?
So the blessing box.
Blessing box.
The
Yes.
sign on the blessing box.
So the sign on the blessing box is take what you need, leave what you can, or I think that's what it says.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it, and it is so humbling to see, I guess humbling, or just when you see people come up and get food out of it.
Oh,
I mean, talk about just like
it give me like the goosebumps
yeah, it
right
does.
now.
I mean, it's just like, man. I mean, and you don't realize the need.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize the need in our community. Our boxes get emptied so fast,
Yeah.
but we have a lot of support with our community that will help keep the boxes full.
Yeah, I think that when you talked about it's a humbling business, and we forget that the person on the other side of the counter sometimes needs $5-10 for gas to get to
Yeah.
work, and we don't know what that feels like anymore.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think just being, knowing that it's a human, not just a customer, somebody in need, and when you realize the purpose of the pawn shop, I think you have that passion like you do.
Yeah.
So congratulations for that.
Yeah.
That's
well,
awesome.
thank you. And there was the cool thing is, and I did a post a few days ago, and you may have seen it, is I got tagged from a pawn shop in California.
Okay.
Did you see him put a blessing box up?
I know. I got to see who it is.
I forgot the name of it. It's anyway, they're at a pawn shop in California, and they made blessing box, and they tagged it. They wrote out, say, hey guys, this is our new blessing box. Thanks for the inspiration, Tom Spawn.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, that is
Amazing.
what's cool.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you do is what will inspire someone else.
Yeah.
Right. So the blessing box was not our idea. We just
Took it
heard
from-
the idea.
Yeah.
We implemented it, and here there's a pawn shop in California that we don't even know who they are, but we inspired them to go and do something. So
That's incredible. So
cool.
I want to challenge the people watching live. Being a pawnbroker, very old business, sometimes very old mindset. Think about how you can inspire your people, just like Brian does here every single day, and family man of faith, just all around. This is the first time I've met you in person, which is
I've
cool.
been running from you.
Yeah, I know. He's hiding. A lot of people hide from me.
I see people with these mics on. I was like, man, I will never do that.
Got to break out of the comfort zone, right?
Thanks for that. Maybe we'll inspire someone.
There you go to jump on here.
Yeah.
So for those of you watching, really follow Brian Tom's Pawn on Instagram and Facebook. I love what you guys are doing. Thank you for bringing a great image to the industry. I think it's important. I think what people don't realize is the better image that we all have, the better staff we get, the more customers we have in as a team. So just like you share with your staff, I love the fact that you're part of groups that are sharing. You're on this that's sharing, and that just helps the industry so much. So thank you so much for that.
You're welcome, and thank you for this, because this is what you're doing here is a neat thing. So appreciate you.
Appreciate it, Brian. Thanks for taking the step and coming on here, man.
Thanks.
So we'll see. Cindy's on here. Raul, thanks for watching. The Pawn King's on here, and we'll be back with some more lives from here, the Midwest Pawn Convention. Have an incredible day.
You too, bud.